July 10, 2025. A seemingly ordinary date marked on calendars across Wilmington. Little did the residents know, this day would soon be etched in their memories for a far more significant and somber reason. The sun rose, casting its golden rays upon the bustling city, unaware of the impending crisis that would soon grip its heart. The day began like any other in Wilmington, a symphony of urban life unfolding. Cars hummed along the streets, pedestrians hurried to their destinations, and the city's vibrant energy pulsed with the promise of a productive day. The air was filled with the usual sounds of commerce and daily routines, a familiar backdrop to the lives of its citizens. Beneath the surface, construction crews were hard at work, their efforts focused on a project that aimed to reshape and modernize the city's infrastructure. The rhythmic clang of tools and the rumble of machinery echoed through the tunnels, a testament to the tireless dedication of these workers. They were diligently shaping the city's future, brick by brick, meter by meter, unaware that their own futures were about to face an unforeseen and perilous challenge. The tunnel, a symbol of progress, was about to become a scene of unexpected disaster. But by mid-morning, the ordinary rhythm of the day was shattered. The routine tasks, the careful planning, all came to a sudden and terrifying halt. The sense of normalcy evaporated, replaced by an atmosphere of impending doom. Everything changed. A tunnel collapse at a major downtown site sent tremors, both literal and metaphorical, through the city. The ground shook, and with it the foundations of the community's sense of security. The incident sent shockwaves through the city, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictable nature of progress. The initial reports were fragmented and confusing, but the underlying message was clear. A major disaster had struck. The words "tunnel collapse" spread rapidly, carried by news alerts, social media, and frantic phone calls. The information, though scarce, painted a grim picture of the situation unfolding beneath the city streets, igniting fear and uncertainty in the hearts of Wilmington's residents. The news spread like wildfire, casting a pall of anxiety over the city. People gathered in small groups, their faces etched with worry, as they tried to piece together the unfolding events. Families of workers were plunged into panic, their minds racing with worst-case scenarios. The agonizing wait for news was almost unbearable, each passing moment amplifying their fears. Their routines shattered by urgent calls and news alerts, replaced by a desperate search for information and a fervent hope for the safety of their loved ones. The ordinary rhythms of life were replaced by a cacophony of anxiety and dread. Sirens replaced the usual sounds of progress, their piercing wails cutting through the city's soundscape, a constant reminder of the unfolding crisis. The urgency in their sound was unmistakable, signaling the gravity of the situation. As emergency vehicles swarmed the site, transforming the area into a hive of activity, the flashing lights and the shouts of first responders created a scene of controlled chaos, a testament to the urgency of the situation. The city held its breath, collectively pausing as it watched the drama unfold. The usual hustle and bustle of urban life faded into the background, replaced by a shared sense of apprehension and concern. Desperate for answers, how many were trapped beneath the rubble? The question hung heavy in the air, fueling the collective anxiety of the city. Could they be saved from the clutches of the collapsed tunnel? The hope for a miraculous rescue flickered amidst the despair, driving the rescue efforts forward. This was more than a news story. It was a test of courage, a challenge to the limits of human endurance and resilience. The rescue workers prepared to descend into the darkness, knowing the risks, but driven by a sense of duty and compassion, community and hope, a demonstration of the unwavering spirit that binds people together in times of crisis. Volunteers arrived with supplies, offering support and comfort to the families of the trapped workers. In the darkness below, a labyrinth of twisted metal and shattered concrete, the fate of the trapped workers hung in the balance. The air was thick with dust, and the silence was broken only by the drip of water and the distant sounds of the rescue operation. The fate of several workers would soon unite Wilmington in a fight for survival, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. The city waited, prayed, and hoped for a miracle. The tunnel was part of a vital infrastructure upgrade, housing water mains, fiber optic cables, and power lines beneath downtown. A skilled team of engineers and laborers worked daily in these challenging, confined spaces. On that Thursday, 6 workers were reinforcing a new section, following strict safety protocols. Despite rigorous planning, Underground construction always carries risk. The project symbolized progress, but the collapse would reveal just how unpredictable and powerful the earth beneath us can be. Even the best preparation can be tested by forces beyond control. At 9:45 a.m., disaster struck without warning. 6 workers 70 feet below heard a sudden rumble. Then the ceiling gave way. Tons of earth and debris crashed down, plunging them into darkness and chaos. The collapse sealed them off, leaving only a small, unstable void. Trapped, with air thick with dust and no way out, their situation was dire. Above ground, the loss of communication and tremors signaled catastrophe. The site foreman called 911. 6 men were missing, and the clock was ticking. For those trapped, survival instincts kicked in. For rescuers, a complex, dangerous mission was about to begin. The race against time had started. Emergency crews arrived within minutes, led by Wilmington's urban search and rescue team. Their first task, assess the tunnel's stability to prevent further collapse. Engineers used sensors to monitor ground movement, while rescuers searched for signs of life. After tense silence, faint tapping was heard. Confirmation all 6 men were alive. Relief swept through the command post, fueling determination. Specialized equipment was deployed: acoustic sensors, fiber optic cameras, and heavy machinery. Every move balanced urgency with caution as rescuers worked to locate and reach the trapped crew. Communication and precision became the operation's lifeline. The goal was clear: bring everyone home safely. In the oppressive darkness, a world away from the sun and sky, the 6 workers found themselves trapped. The air was thick with dust, and the silence, broken only by the occasional drip of water, was deafening. Each tick of the clock seemed to amplify the weight of the collapsed earth above them, a constant reminder of their precarious situation. With no immediate sign of rescue, the 6 workers relied on their training, their instincts, and most importantly, each other. They knew panic would be their greatest enemy, and a calm, collected approach was their only hope for survival. Years of experience working in the demanding environment of underground construction had prepared them for challenges, but nothing could have truly prepared them for this. The foreman, a seasoned veteran of countless projects, immediately stepped up to keep order. His calm demeanor and clear instructions were a beacon of hope in the overwhelming darkness. He knew that organization and discipline were paramount to their survival. He began by checking for injuries, meticulously examining each worker in the dim light of their headlamps. Miraculously, despite the force of the collapse, all had survived the initial impact unharmed. This small victory was a much-needed boost to their morale. Knowing that rescue could take hours or even days, they carefully rationed their limited supply of water, each sip measured and deliberate. Every drop was precious, a symbol of their determination to endure. They conserved energy, moving only when necessary and resting as much as possible. The darkness was both a comfort and a curse, offering a respite from the visual reminders of their confinement, but also amplifying the feeling of isolation. Remembering their training, they located a metal pipe and used it to tap out signals to the surface, hoping against hope that someone would hear them. Each tap was a prayer, a desperate plea for help echoing through the cold, unforgiving earth. And then, a faint response. Hope flickered to life, a fragile flame in the face of overwhelming despair, with every answering tap from above. They were not forgotten. To fight the creeping despair, they shared stories of their families, their dreams, and their lives outside the tunnel, desperately trying to keep their spirits up. Laughter, however strained, was a weapon against the darkness. In the face of adversity, they were forging a bond stronger than ever before, a brotherhood forged in the crucible of shared danger. They were more than just colleagues, they were each other's lifeline. Their unity, their discipline, and their unwavering belief in each other were their greatest assets, their most powerful tools in the fight for survival. They were a team, and they would face this challenge together. Every hour underground tested their resolve, pushing them to the limits of their physical and mental endurance. Time seemed to stretch and distort, each minute an eternity. The tapping on the metal pipe became their lifeline, their only connection to the world above, a fragile thread of hope in the vast darkness. Each series of knocks was a message, a desperate plea. We're alive. Don't give up on us. As time dragged on, their will to survive never wavered, fueled by the unwavering hope of rescue and the strength they drew from each other. They would not surrender. In that cramped, suffocating void, human connection was their only light, their only source of warmth and comfort. They were a family, bound together by the shared experience of survival. They waited, trusting that help would come, clinging to the belief that their ordeal would soon be over. They had to believe. With the workers' location finally confirmed after days of searching, a palpable sense of hope mixed with urgency filled the air. The rescue teams knew that time was of the essence. Every minute that passed increased the risk to the trapped miners. Rescuers, facing a complex and precarious situation, meticulously devised a bold plan to drill a rescue shaft directly from the surface, a race against time and the elements. This approach was chosen for its potential speed and relative safety compared to other options. The plan involved multiple stages, each requiring careful calculation and precise execution. Digging through the collapse, the original tunnel, was deemed far too risky. The structural integrity of the existing passage was severely compromised, with the ever-present threat of further collapses looming. Any attempt to clear the debris could trigger another cave-in, endangering both the trapped miners and the rescue workers themselves. So, with the risks assessed and the decision made, engineers meticulously targeted a spot on the surface directly above the trapped men's location. Surveying equipment was brought in to pinpoint the precise coordinates, ensuring that the drill would reach its intended destination with minimal deviation. The margin for error was slim, and accuracy was paramount. To facilitate the arrival and operation of the heavy machinery, streets were closed off to the public. Barricades were erected and police officers were strategically positioned to redirect traffic, ensuring a clear and safe passage for the rescue equipment. The surrounding area transformed into a hive of activity with a single, unwavering focus. Heavy equipment, essential for the daunting task ahead, was brought in under escort. Cranes, drills, and specialized vehicles converged on the site, their arrival signaling the commencement of the most critical phase of the rescue operation. The sheer scale of the machinery underscored the magnitude of the challenge. The first step was to drill a pilot hole, a narrow shaft intended to serve as a guide for the larger drill that would follow. This initial bore was executed with surgical precision, guided by advanced technology and the expertise of seasoned drilling professionals. Accuracy was key to ensuring the success of the entire operation. The pilot hole, once completed, allowed for the insertion of cameras. This also allowed for fresh air and vital supplies to reach the isolated workers, providing them with much-needed sustenance and a psychological boost. The delivery of these essentials was a crucial step in maintaining their morale and physical well-being during the agonizing wait. Progress was slow and painstaking. Every foot drilled was a hard-won victory against the unyielding earth. The composition of the ground, the presence of underground obstacles, and the need for extreme precision all contributed to the slow pace. Each meter was carefully measured and analyzed, ensuring that the drill remained on course. Teams worked tirelessly around the clock, fueled by adrenaline and a shared sense of purpose. Under the glare of floodlights, the rescue operation continued unabated, with each shift seamlessly handing over to the next. There was no time for rest, no room for error. The entire city was watching with bated breath, united in hope and anxiety. Families of the trapped workers kept vigil near the site, their faces etched with worry and determination. The community rallied around them, offering support and prayers for a safe and swift rescue. Meanwhile, recognizing the inherent risks of the operation, a backup plan was initiated. This involved shoring up the main tunnel entrance, reinforcing its structural integrity to prevent further collapses. This precautionary measure was intended to provide an alternative escape route, just in case the primary rescue plan encountered unforeseen obstacles. The entire operation demanded seamless teamwork, specialized expertise, and unwavering nerves of steel. The pressure was immense, the stakes were incredibly high, and the environment was fraught with danger. Yet the rescue workers remained focused and resolute, driven by their commitment to saving lives. Every decision, no matter how small, was a matter of life and death, weighed carefully and deliberated upon by the team. The weight of responsibility rested heavily on their shoulders, knowing that the fate of the trapped miners hung in the balance. After more than 24 hours, the drill broke through to the trapped men. A beam of light pierced the darkness, met by cheers from below. A camera confirmed the workers were alive, exhausted but smiling. Families wept with relief as they saw their loved ones on screen. A communication line was lowered, allowing the men to speak with rescuers and family for the first time. Supplies, water, food, oxygen followed, stabilizing their condition. The immediate danger had passed. Now, the focus shifted to extraction. A larger drill began widening the shaft, inching closer to rescue. Hope surged as the final phase began. In the early morning, nearly 36 hours after the collapse, the rescue shaft was ready. One by one, workers were hoisted to the surface, greeted by cheers and relief. The foreman insisted on being last, ensuring his team's safety first. Each man emerged exhausted but alive, embraced by paramedics and loved ones. Remarkably, none suffered serious injuries, just dehydration and fatigue. The city celebrated as the last worker surfaced, marking the end of the ordeal. Families reunited in emotional scenes, grateful for the rescuers' heroism. The operation was hailed as a miracle of teamwork and skill. Wilmington breathed a collective sigh of relief. The story closed with triumph, resilience, and gratitude. In the aftermath, Wilmington reflected on the lessons learned. The Wilmington Six became symbols of courage and unity. The rescue showcased the power of teamwork and preparation. Investigations began to ensure such a disaster would never happen again. New safety standards and technologies were promised for future projects. The city vowed to protect those who build its future. Out of darkness, Wilmington emerged stronger, committed to safety and community.